Hello everyone, my name is Ajay Poddar. I am part of Informatica GCS team. As a part of today's presentation, we are going to see how to capture JSTACK thread dumps from Kubernetes pod or container for troubleshooting and analysis of CDI-E or advanced cluster issue. As a part of today's presentation, we will be discussing on this agenda steps for collecting JSTACK on Kubernetes pod followed by the demo. JSTACK is a diagnostic tool used to capture thread stack trace of a running Java virtual machine. It provides a snapshot of all threads, including their state and stack traces, which will be essential for diagnosing issues such as deadlock, performance bottleneck, high CPU uses, and application hangs. Now let's see how we can collect JSTACK on Kubernetes pod for troubleshooting CDI advanced mapping issue. So as a first step, you need to run the advanced mapping, which will start the advanced cluster. This is my advanced mapping, which is in running state, and advanced cluster is also up and running. As we can see, Infi Spark is in the running state. Now once the advanced cluster comes up and in running state, you need to set these two environment variable in the secure agent machine. The first environment variable is kubeconfig and second one is kubepath. So in this kubeconfig environment variable, you need to update the path for the secure agent home, update the ATSQL server latest version and the cluster ID. So for getting the ATSQL server latest version, you can execute a command ps -ef pipe grep at scale. So once you execute this command, you will see the process in the running state. So in this process, you will see the path where you will see the latest ATSQL server agent which is currently being in use, that is 46.0.3.1 in my case. Copy this value and update this value on this latest version. Now for getting the cluster ID, you can get it from the advanced mapping session log. Log into IDMC and open the mapping which is in the running state and download the session log. Open the session log file and open this session execution log. So in this session log, you can find the cluster ID with the keyword cluster ID, and here you will see the cluster ID information. So for me, it is 6 as T and ending with .local. Copy this cluster ID and update the cluster ID here. So I have already updated these arguments like secure agent home, latest version, and the cluster ID as you can see here. Now copy this environment variable and execute from the secure agent machine. Similarly, you need to execute the another environment variable, that is export path. In this export path, you need to update the secure agent home and the ATSQL server latest version. So once you update these details in this environment variable, copy this path and execute it from the secure agent machine. Once this two environment variable is set on the secure agent machine, next step you need to execute this kubectl get csr command. Copy this kubectl get csr command as it is. No update is required in this command. Copy and execute it from the secure agent machine. You can ignore this error message and move to the next step. Next step will be getting the list of the pod which is in the running state, which you can get by executing this kubectl get pods -a command. Kubectl get pods -a. Once you execute this command, you will see the list of the pod which is in the running state. Now once you get the pod details, you need to copy the JDK from your local machine to the pod where you want to collect the JSTACK. So for that, first you need to identify the JDK which is currently being used by your Infi agent. So for that, you can find the latest JDK version by executing this ps command. Copy this ps command and execute it from the secure agent machine. So once I execute, I'll see the process ID. So in this process ID, you can see the JDK which is currently being used by your secure agent. Copy the this path till this Zulu ending with the version what you are having. Now once you get the current JDK which is currently being used by your secure agent, you need to copy that specific JDK to your pod where you want to collect the JSTAG. For that, execute this kubectl cp command. So in this kubectl cp command, you need to update the JDK identified from the ps command and pod where you want to collect the JSTAG, which you got the information from step 4, that is kubectl get pods -a, and the path where you want to copy the JDK. So this path is the path from the pod. So I have already got the information regarding the JDK which is currently being used by executing this ps-ef pipe grep info agent pipe grep data integration. So this is the current Zulu which is being used in my secure agent machine. Copy this path till Zulu and then update this part in this argument. And once you update this, you need to identify the pod name. So it depends in which pod you want to collect the JSTAG. So currently in this video, I'll be collecting the JSTAG on the driver pod. So the driver pod is this one. Copy this driver pod name and update this driver pod name value in this argument, that is pod identified from the step 4. Now colon, you need to update the path where you want to copy the JDK. So I'm copying the JDK on /temp directory of the pod. Once you update these details on kubectl cp command, copy this kubectl cp command and execute it from the secure agent machine. So once you execute this command, this will copy the this Zulu JDK file from your local system to the driver pod which I have specified here, and it will copy this file to /temp directory. Now next step will be once you copy the JDK file to the pod where you want to collect the JSTAG, you need to log into the particular pod where you want to collect the JSTAG. For that, execute this command kubectl exe-it pod name where you want to collect the JSTAG and the terminal. In this video, I'm collecting the JSTAG on driver pod, so I need to log into driver pod only. So in this kubectl command, you need to update the pod name where you want to collect the JSTAG. I have updated my pod, that is my driver pod name here, which I got from kubectl get -pod a command. From this output, I copied this driver pod name and updated the driver pod name in this command. So once you update this, copy this kubectl command and execute it from the secure agent machine. So now you see the sh shell which has opened. It means that I am logged into Kubernetes Spark driver pod. Now once you are logged into Kubernetes Spark driver pod, you need to identify the current Java process which is in the running state. For that, you need to execute this ps- command and get the current process ID. Copy this ps-ef grep command and execute it from the pod where you have logged in. So this command has got executed. Now let's identify the process ID. Scroll up and here you can see this is where I have executed the command and it has listed the process ID. So for me, process ID is 81. So once you got the process ID from the ps command, you need to run this command to collect the JSTAG from the pod where you have logged in. You can collect 3 to 4 JSTAG in equal time of interval. File name you can change incrementally like JSTAG1, JSTAG2, JSTAG3. Once you have collected all the JSTAG from the pod which you have logged in, you need to copy that JSTAG file to the local system and share it for the analysis. So for collecting the JSTACK, this is the command which you have to run from the Kubernetes pod. So JDK path will be the path where you have copied the Zulu JDK directory on the pod. So we ran the command, and in that command we have specified the /temp directory. So the JDK path will be the /temp directory only, and the Zulu file name, you can get this file name from the Kubernetes pod which you have logged in. Execute the command cd/tmp ls. So here you will see the Zulu file which you have copied. Copy this Zulu file name and update this Zulu file name in this command, and after that bin/jstack will be the argument, and then you have to update the PID which you have got from this ps-ef command. So for me the PID was 81. I'll be appending my PID here, 81, and then you can redirect the JSTACK to the file where you want to redirect. So I'm redirecting my JSTACK file to /temp directory with the name jstack1.txt. Once you update this command, copy this command and execute it from the pod which you have logged in. So let's see, it has collected the jstack1.txt. Similarly, we will execute the JSTACK one more time, jstack2.txt. You can see it has collected the jstack2.txt. Now similarly you can collect the multiple JSTACK in equal interval of time. Once you have collected all the JSTACK from the pod in which you want to collect, you need to copy this JSTACK file to your local system. For doing so, you need to exit from this Kubernetes pod terminal. For that, just type exit. Once you type, you are exit from the terminal. So once you have collected the JSTACK, you need to copy the JSTACK from your Kubernetes pod to your local system. For doing so, you need to run this kubectl cp command. We need to update the pod name and the JSTACK file name taken from the above command. That will be the path and the file name from the Kubernetes pod, and the JSTACK file name to copy. So this will be the path from your local system. I have already updated this argument on this kubectl command. Pod name I have updated, that is my Spark driver pod, and colon /temp /jstack1 is the directory and the file name where I have collected the JSTACK, and this is my local system path, and you need to give the JSTACK file name. So once you update this argument on this kubectl command, copy this kubectl command, execute it from the secure agent machine. Let's see. So it has copy the JSTACK from the Kubernetes pod to my local system. You can view this JSTACK file. So it has captured the thread dump or the stacks on the process for which we collected. Similarly, you can copy the another JSTACK file as well. So in my case, I collected two JSTACK, that is jstack1.txt and jstack2.txt. And to just remove the one from here, and I'll put 2 here, enter, you will see the JSTACK2 file as well. Similarly, you can collect the JSTACK from the pod, and after collecting the JSTACK, you need to move all the JSTACK file to your local system. After you get all the file to the local system, you can share with the engineer for the further analysis. For more information on how to collect the JSTACK on Kubernetes pod and the list of command, you can refer this KB article. We'd love to hear from you. You can send us a mail to supportvideos@informatica.com or tweet us on twitter.com/infasupport. Thank you.